Hi everyone, Mixie the Crane Game Addict here. Today I'll show you how I cleared the machine out of these three super cute Sumikkogurashi macarons, the polar bear, the duck, and the blue Tokage. So to give you a little background, I was actually playing right before this play. Someone before me won the polar bear and the blue Tokage, and I'd say not too many moves, maybe I'd say 3 or 4. I didn't see them play like from start, but it definitely seemed very winnable. So I actually ended up playing for the duck. For whatever reason, they won these two and then left the duck that was like vertical. And I decided to play for it, and it did take a few tries to win. I'd say maybe 8 to 10. So I then understood why they left him. So I decided to stick around and wait for them to restock, and saw that it looked like this. So both the polar bear and the Tokage were in a good position, and that they weren't too close to the side of the crane game. So then you'd be able to use the left and right side of the claw, giving you more options of how to move the plushies. So I decided to go ahead and play for these. So with that, let's get started with the first play. So here's my first play for the polar bear, and I was way too aggressive and I moved way too far to the right and ended up hitting it, so it just didn't really do anything. It just kind of hit it and he seesawed back. So for my second move, I just decided I'm going to go to the back to move the back portion to the left, which it does move it somewhat. And I go back to the front to try and move this corner off the bar, this front corner. So I wasn't close enough, so I wasn't able to get as much movement as I liked. I was a little hesitant because I was too aggressive in my first move. So here's my fourth move, and I was a lot closer, which was great because I was able to move it vertically. So here I wanted to try and move this portion off of here. It's kind of snug against the bar, and the claw doesn't go all the way down to reach it, so it actually ended up not doing anything. So for my sixth move, I went for the back and tried to move it toward the left. So it did move a little bit. So then for my seventh, I went for the back again, because it's actually really close to falling. There isn't much, like right here, there's pretty much just plastic holding it up. So then for my eighth move, I just went ahead and went for the back again, because the front's pretty much falling and the back is being kept with just very little plastic. Yay, and that did it. So now it's time to try for the Tokage. And here I fall short. I did not go far enough to the right. So this one was a complete, like, kind of wasted move. So the second one, I went for the back again. This time I definitely was within the range. And I ended up moving both of them, which was great. It kind of compensated for the other move, which didn't do anything. So for my third one, I went for the front, and I really wanted to move it toward the right, since the back was already falling on this side. So that lifted it. So for my fourth move, I also wanted to keep moving this part to the right. That moved it, I'd say, about an inch or so, so it's good progress. So since it was working in the front, I kept trying to move the front, and this time it just pretty much slid off. So then now I knew it was time to try the back and try to move this part of the plastic off so he could fall. Oh, he's so close to falling. And there you go. So did you see that Tokage actually ended up falling at the start of this next move. So I received the notification that I won. I was in the middle of pressing the right button. I was like, oh my goodness, let me just kind of press it a little bit more to where I can't remember and see if I can be in a good spot to actually move the duck. So I kind of pause here and I'm like, okay, let me get rid of that congratulations sign, you won the prize, and then kind of see where I should go on moving the duck. So fortunately, I was in a good position that I was able to still play for the duck. And this one actually like helped move it, which was really great and wasn't a wasted play. So then for my second move, I went for the back. So I ended up seesawing him. So that was kind of a waste, but I guess it did straighten him up. So then I went back to the front to try and lift this small corner plastic off the bar. And it did move it a little bit. There's not that much actually holding on. So I go for the front again. It does move. So it's like there's barely any plastic on the top, but it's still holding him up. So this one actually lifted him, but he kind of just ended up falling straight back down. So I tried for the back then to see if that would help him move anymore. And it seesawed him back. So then for my seventh, I tried for the front corner plastic again. Sometimes you have to seesaw it for it to actually work on one side now. So you saw I had really good lift and was able to lift it with this plastic when the prior move in the front didn't do anything. Just lifted and dropped it back down. So for this eighth one, I went for the front again and I really wanted to aim to move this plastic off the bar. And you'll see that this one gets right underneath it and was able to lift it again. And he's almost falling. There's like a little corner here that's holding on. So I went for the front again, but there just wasn't much grip. So that one didn't do anything. So I tried again in a slightly different position. I went closer to the bar. And it did. It moved a little bit. He's almost falling. Almost. There's like barely anything here. So I really wanted to get the front plastic off. And that one did hardly anything. So I tried one more time at a slightly different angle to really get this left claw in here, and that did move it a little bit. At this point, I was like, okay, it's time to push and poke this thing down. I probably should have tried it earlier, but sometimes I'm worried that if I poke it and it ends up sticking to the bars more, then I have to waste, I have to waste a play to unstick the plastic from the sticky bars. So sometimes I think I don't really push it as early as I could have, just because I know sometimes in the past I'll like poke on this plastic onto the bars and then I have to like waste a couple turns to unstick it or just give up. So anyways, I hope that was helpful and I'll see you in the next video.